Hey, what's up, guys? Gangster Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on a ring that, hold on, I gotta get this thing adjusted here, that we got to size down from about a 7.5 to a 6. Let me look. Yeah, it's almost a 7.5. But going from about a 7.25, 7.5 to a 6 ain't very straight either. It's kind of fucking lopsided. I think that's just the way the ring is made, but still, that's odd. Yeah, look at that shit. That's the way the ring is made. Been a while since I've seen one all crooked like that. I don't know that I like that design. Probably would be a 7.5 if it was straight. Holy shit. Alright. Boy, that is a shitty design. But hey, that's just one man's opinion, man. What looks good? That's the beauty of humans, right? You know, what one person might like, the other person might not like. It is what it is. That's what makes us all unique. We all like different things and do different things, and that's what makes us who we are, guys. So we're gonna call it a 1.25, although it's probably gonna be a 1.5. But we'll call it a 1.25 here. God dang it, I gotta turn my camera around. I got it set up a little different, so that's gonna take a little getting used to. Alright, 1.25, y'all. Got it right here. 1.25 sizes. So we'll go ahead and mark our spot here, like so. We'll rake that down, make sure we make 2 good lines, and then I know this is going to piss some people off. Use a jeweler saw if you got them. If you got cutters, cut them if you got them. I think it makes life easier. Doesn't take quite as long. But that is just one man's opinion. But that's the beauty of jewelry repair, guys. That is the beauty of jewelry repair. Jewelry repair is one of those only, I'd say, professions. I don't know if I'd say careers or trade jobs, if you want to call it that. That you can do things differently and get the same outcome. The basic principles are going to be the same, but everybody has their own little flair. You don't have to do it exactly like I do it. If you find you're comfortable with something different, go for it. It's probably the only... We're going to go ahead and smooth these sides out, make them even with our cutting disc here. But it's probably the only profession or trade or whatever that you can do things differently and get the same outcome. It ain't like a mechanic, you know. Like a mechanic, there's only one way to take this alternator off and put it on. You know what I mean? For the most part. There may be exceptions, but for the most part, you got so many bolts. These bolts have to come off. It's got to be done exactly the same way, pretty much. Jewelry repair is not always that way. So, keep that in mind. Alright. So now we just want to we don't have any hollow sides. It's a solid ring. We don't have any stones coming down the side. So we're not overly worried about being super careful with this. We just want to get the ends to meet as close as we possibly can. You want to try to have no gaps if possible. Would be ideal. And as even as possible. Alright. There we go. So now we will go ahead and dip our ring in some boric acid denatured alcohol here. That puts a nice little fire coating so we don't get quite as much fire scale. And we've already got a 5 tip. We're going to be using a 5 tip. Go ahead and light our ring up, light her up. Let all that shit burn off. And we are ready to weld. And I am going to have to buy some more white gold and yellow gold solder hard because I am almost out. I got a little piece left. Well, I got 2 little pieces left of yellow gold. So that's what I got left of the yellow gold. And that's what I got left of the white gold. So, getting about time to buy some more solder, y'all. Getting that time. Alright. Now, we went ahead and cut this piece of solder. Let's get our flux here. Go ahead and put our flux on there. And now we have to try to get you guys in for the money shot. I don't know that it's a money shot, but we'll call it that. Let's see, 3. Let's see how close I can get you guys in. I don't know if I can keep it steady that close up for you guys. That might be too much. Alright, let's go 3. Why the hell does it still say 3? I don't know. I'm playing with the camera, guys. I'm trying to see what would be a good spot, I guess. We'll try there. I don't know that I can keep it steady for you guys that close up, but let's try. Fuck it. Alright, let's grab our solder. If I can even find, there it is. Alright, grab our solder. Let's see if I can keep it steady for you guys, because this ought to be fun. This is a little more close up than I usually do, because the closer I get in on it, the more I gotta try to stay still and focus, otherwise it gets out of view for you guys. And we'll go ahead and heat her up. Heat her up. You know what's fucking crazy? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Was going to, but on YouTube, you never know with YouTube. Some people get triggered over some of the smallest things. Alright, so let's heat this thing up. Taking our time. We're not really worried about heating the whole ring up because we don't have any sensitive stones. We got all diamonds. So there we go. There she goes. All right. So let me zoom you guys back out here. These are diamonds, so we're not really worried about dropping it in water. So we'll drop it in water behind me here. All right. We got her welded together. Now we need to straighten it out, because I don't think they're gonna like it being ovaled like that. So let's go ahead and straighten this sucker out. Grab our rubber mallet, rawhide mallet, whatever you want to call it. Somebody corrected me. I said rubber mallet. They're like, that's a rawhide mallet, dumbass. I'm like, okay, you're right. Rawhide mallet. Got it. Well, shit, we're almost right on the money, y'all. Almost to a 6. Oh. You know what the real problem is, though? Is this damn ring. It's got a crooked ass shank. But you know what? By us taking part of it out, it's actually more straight now than it was. Look at that. It's a hell of a lot more straight than it was. You damn sure don't want to use a ball peen hammer unless you're beating on the bottom a little bit, especially if you got hollow sides. You don't want to use a ball peen hammer on the hollow sides, man. You'll cave that in a microsecond, boy. You'd be crying. That's a 6. So we're a 6 on the money on that side. We want to make sure that we're 6 on both sides. We're 6 on that side as well. So let's go ahead and I want to straighten this shank out a little bit, though. Where's my ball peen hammer at? See if we can straighten it out just a little bit, because it's still, what the hell? Because it's still crooked a little bit. All right, where'd you go, man? I already know, Lord Mark, he's gonna pop in here. Bitch, if you'd clean your fucking desk, you'd be able to find your ball peen hammer. I can already see it. It's coming, I know it. Where is... Really? Come on, there it is. There she is. All right. Shit, that looks way better than it did. That shank was all kinds of... Remember how crooked it was when we put it on the mandrel earlier? Look how straight that is now. That's how it should be. I don't think it was made that way, now that I'm thinking about it. It damn sure looked like it was, but I don't... That looks a hell of a lot better. Right on the money 6. Right on the money 6. It's a little bit crooked on that side, but I don't think we're going to get it perfectly straight, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. That's for dang sure. Alright, so now what we got to do is we need to file the inside and the outsides down real quick. Get that done. We'll be using our rock for that. And you want to do it over your drawer. I usually do it over my drawer because you can collect all the filings and send them off to a refiner. It takes a while to collect them, but you know, eventually you can collect enough to send off, and it's worth it, you know. You ain't gonna get rich from it, but something's better than nothing, right? Alright, now let's go ahead and file the outside part down real quick. We're going to be using a rock for that as well. I call them rocks. I don't know what y'all would call them. That's what I always call them. Good old rocks. Alright, now, well, before we do that, let's go ahead and grab our metal file. File these sides down real quick. See, basically we want to get these sides even so that you can't tell. Like I said, ultimately the goal is you shouldn't be able to tell where the ring was even sized at. And remember, you just do single strokes. You don't want to go back and forth like this, because you're not trying to groove. If you do that, you're going to groove into the ring. You're just trying to smooth out the sides so that they're even. That's all we're trying to do. That is it. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. And then we'll go kind of across the top here a little bit. Kind of get some of these corners. All right. Now, oh shit. Now we got to use our silicone wheel. We'll go ahead and smooth the inside of the ring first, and then we'll do the outside and the sides. I'm sorry guys, when I'm doing a lot of this smoothing out and filing stuff, it's hard for me to keep the camera still, so it kind of shakes. But do the best I can anyways. do the best that we can, man. That's all we can do. Alright, now, well, we need to get under here too. Get up under the head there. Gonna smooth that out a little bit. Alright, now go ahead and switch to our other silicone wheel so we can take care of the outside and the sides of the ring. Now there is a new store that I had gave some price sheets to, and I don't think I'm gonna hear from them. They just don't seem like they didn't seem like they were very interested, and it's probably, and then it's a trust issue, so that's gonna be the other thing. Especially if you're starting out, nobody knows who you are. See, luckily I've been doing this for 30 years, so a lot of people know who I am. But this particular store, I don't think they know who I am. And I think they were kind of reluctant to say yes or no. They're just like, I'll get back with you. But I wasn't really expecting to hear anything from them, you know. You're not going to win them all. And in this business, that's probably going to be the hardest thing for you to build up, is going to be the trust factor. Which, I get it, man. You know, it's hard to trust people nowadays. But when you're starting out, man, if you can't get no customers, you know, just know that that's part of the game too. You know, actually, that's probably going to be your hardest part, is just trying to get business, you know. But luckily, you know, we had a store for 30 years in my area, and then I went to online, been doing online, and then just doing businesses, local businesses and stuff like that in Orange Park and Jacksonville area where I'm at. And just realize you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, and don't stress over it. It's not a big deal. It's just part of the game, you know. The way it goes. Only thing I will say though is also, if you can, if and when you get to the point where you've got enough business to keep you busy and you're doing fairly well, don't take any shit. For a while you're probably gonna have to take shit from stores, like stupid shit, like they be blaming you for shit you didn't even do. I've had that, been down that road many times. When you're starting out though, you're probably gonna have to eat it, but when you get to a point where you don't have to eat it anymore, just tell them where they can go, because you're gonna have some stores like that, man, that are just so hard to work with. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I'm sure some of you veterans watching know exactly what I'm talking about. There's just some stores that don't matter what you do, they're always bitching about something. And when you get to a point where you ain't got to put up with that shit anymore, don't do it, man. And to you stores out there, be nice to your jewelers, man, because there ain't very many out there. I know a couple right now. I know a couple right now that have tried to reach back out to me after I quit doing their repairs. Problem is that they've ran through everybody in town. There ain't very many jewelers, guys. So be nice to your jewelers, man. Don't treat them like they're fucking dogs. There ain't very many of them out there. They can't find a jeweler now. And the jewelers that are around don't want to do their repairs. It's crazy. But basically what it is you get these stores that I don't know where they get these managers from, man. Like, they got managers that don't know a damn thing about jewelry. And then they try to come at you with some off the wall bullshit. And you're like, what? Like, where'd they get this guy from? And then there's only so much of that you can take before you're just like, you know what? Find somebody else, please. You know, at the end of the day, my sanity means more to me than having to put up with that crap. Like, I shit you not. I shit you not, okay? Here's a perfect example. Okay, we got this all smoothed out and sized. So, we're good. Perfect example. See these little white... Now, this probably happened about 5 years ago. I'm not going to name the store. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. And YouTube likes drama anyway, so there's that. Anyways, so you see these little diamonds right here? These are like maybe 1 pointers, 2 pointers at best. They ain't worth shit. I mean, they're worth money to jewelry repair, but I mean, if you were to take them into a pawn shop or any store, they're not going to give you shit for them. I mean, they're so small. So, like, I guess this manager, he never looked at any of the jewelry. Like, he didn't even look at this ring before he gave it to me. And it had white diamonds just like this, but it didn't have any big diamonds. They were all little like this, right? Thing is, I don't even know where he come up with this. So I brought it back, right? And he goes, he said, you changed all the diamonds. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, these were all blue diamonds. Now they're all white. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So me and him get into a big argument about it. And finally I told him, I'm like, dude, call the customer and have the customer come up here. So the customer comes up there. She looks at the ring. She's like, yeah, my ring looks great. You know, because I had it all polished. I don't have this all polished yet, but it was all polished. She's like, yeah, my diamonds are white. And he's like, oh, I thought they were blue. And I'm like, did he even look at this ring? I'm like, does he even know what blue diamonds look like? You know, blue diamonds are blue. So at any rate, and then even though the customer said that her ring was exactly the way that it was supposed to be, you know, he still wanted to argue with me about it. I was like, no, thank you. So I had to tell them, I was like, I can't do your repairs, man. This is nuts. You know what I mean? That's crazy. See, I can't, I don't know. I have a low tolerance for, I think I have a low tolerance for stupid people. That's what it is. That must be what it is. But yeah, thought that it changed all. Do you know how much work it would be to change all? Now, we didn't have just these little few diamonds here. I mean, this was like a cluster of tiny little diamonds all through the head of this ring. Do you know how much work it would take to change them to blue diamonds? That's an awful lot of work for some one pointers that you can't even really do anything with. It was so stupid. But you know, people that aren't into jewelry, they believe what they believe. And I honestly think this guy didn't know nothing about jewelry. That's why I said I don't know where they got this dude. They didn't keep him around too long though, because I went back by that store a couple years later and he was gone. They said he got fired. Which wasn't a surprise to me. But at any rate, let's go polish this thing. Enough of my drama for the YouTube. Let's go polish this ring. We'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I've decided to take y'all on the polishing journey with me. So let's go ahead and get this thing polished up. Look at that, boy. Look better once we get all the rouge off of it and shit. Okay. Alright. Looking good, y'all. Looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the inside of the ring here. Alright guys, let's go get all this rouge off of there. and then we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that ring. You see we got it nice, clean and polished. We got my fingerprints all over it already. It's the only thing I hate about touching it and showing you guys afterwards is having the fingerprints all over it. But we got nice clean polish, got it looking good. Size from a 7.5 to a 6. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. This was a fairly uncomplicated sizing. It turned out real nice. I'm super happy with it. But I appreciate you guys watching. This is Gangster Jeweler. If you'd like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the links for that will be down in the description. Although it's not required, this helps the channel grow and show some love. And maybe if you learn something from these videos. Also, if you would like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop. I'll have the link for that down in the description. And also, if you would like, if you're a business in the Jacksonville or Orange Park area and would like for me to start doing your repairs, you can visit me or email me. Visit me. You can email me. I'll have the link for that now, or the have that down in the description. Also, if you'd like to check out my Kick, Beam, and Rumble live streams, they're more reaction and gaming type streams, but I have those. I usually try to be on between 5 and 8 Eastern time. So you can check that out if you would like. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was a fairly simple, uncomplicated sizing, guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Rip to Charlie Kirk. And if that makes you mad, it shouldn't. Not if you're human and you got a brain. Nobody should be killed. I don't even want. Look, I'm a conservative, okay? But I don't want Democrats killed because I don't necessarily agree with their politics. I got friends that are Democrats, man. I get along with them okay. Now, you have the crazy ones. Occasionally, you're going to get some crazy ones. You got to let them go. But just because you disagree don't mean you got to hate each other. But anyways, guys, this is Gangster Jeweler. I appreciate you guys watching. See you guys on the next one. Take care, y'all.